Okay, let's wrap up this side two. This video hopefully will be a little bit shorter as we roll through these problems. Again, I'm just going to show you one way to do these problems. If you want to try to figure out the other way, you can. Either way, as long as you can justify it with a variable in your equation, that's what I want you to do. This particular problem says in the 15 largest cities in the United States, there are about 130 million workers over 16 years and over. Approximately 76.3% of them drive to work alone. How many workers in these 15 cities drive to work alone? Well, I'm going to use a proportion on this. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can identify what is the part, what is the whole, and what is the percent. Okay, well, it looks like there's 130 million workers total, right? There's a total of that. So that's the total would represent the whole. So the whole is 130 million. You got 7 zeros there. Okay, so that's the entire group, okay, of people across the United States that drive to work on this study, which is an old study. It's changed since then. But we are going to use these statistics for our problem. It says approximately 76.3 drive to work alone. Okay, well, the question beginning with the end says how many workers drive to work alone. Well, I know that 76.3% does, so I know the percent, right? 76.3%. The part, that's what you're trying to find. You're trying to, what is the group out of 130 million that drives to work alone if 76.3% does? So if I did a proportion, I'm just going to do I'll write it up here again. Part over whole is equal to percent over 100, or is over of percent over 100. But in the context of applying it, part over whole makes more sense. All right, part would be x. The whole is 130 million. That's equal to 76.3 over 100. All right, now crisscross applesauce, right? 100x is equal to a number with a bunch of zeros, I bet. 9, here's what I got. 9919, and then 6 zeros. Double check me. Now, you do have to solve it, so you're going to divide both sides by 100, and fortunately, that's easy math for us, because all that's going to do is, that cancels out. You basically lose 2 zeros there, so that cancels out there. You got 100x. Oh, no, 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 not 100. It's 1x. Go away. 1x, which is the part, it's how many workers drive to work alone, is 9919 and 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Okay, so almost 10 million. Almost 10 million people from this study drive to work. Let's say drive alone to work. Poor lonely people. All right, so that's one application for you using a proportion. And let's look at number 2, and we'll be done. Here we go. Bottom of your page says this, referring to the same problem. If 5% of these workers from the 15 cities carpool to work, how many people carpool? Okay, so we're going back to that previous slide that said there's a total of 130 million. Well, I think on this one I'll do it the other way so you can have seen each. And this one I'm thinking to myself, well, there's 130 million people total, and we could set up the proportion like we did. But let's think of it this way. What is 5% of 130 million? All right, and then here's an equation to solve the same problem. Do you see it? What is x? So x would be how many people carpool, right? That's what you're trying to find. Because I know that 5% carpool, x equals 5%. Now that's 0.05, and that make sure you understand why it's 0.05 and not 5 times 130 million. Multiply that out there, and that should work out to about, well, not about, it looks like it's exactly 6.5 million people carpool based on that study. Book carpool. And that's supposed to be a smiley face right there. All right, so there it is. All right, a 10-minute and a 5-minute, and you're done. Bring this to class as we hit applications next.